Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into influencer culture and call influencers out for their terrible, awful, crappy behaviors. Today we're going to be talking about K and Tay again because I saw something on Reddit, as we do, and I feel as though they took things way too far. And I can see both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the coin, I guess you could say. But ultimately, this is not okay, and we're going to talk about it. Let's go, guys. So today we're going to be talking again about parasocial relationships, the positive ones and the negative ones, because I think it's a really important discussion to continue to have because it shows just how dangerous the internet can be. And if we add kids into the mix and think about how it can be really dangerous for them to have people obsessed with them and their parents, well, that's where it starts to get really dangerous. When you think about parasocial relationships, oftentimes you think about the super obsessive fans who think that the influencer can do no wrong. They go to bat for them in the comments. They come to other people's commentary videos about them and just go to town. They are belligerent. They're rude, but think that the influencers literally walk on water. It's a really weird sort of thing. And it's interesting to me because I'm here and my goal is to hold people accountable for their crappy behaviors and hopefully start to change the way people view social media, the way that influencers influence people on social media. I am here because the behaviors are unacceptable. I'm not here to attack people for their looks, for anything like that. Kay can't change the fact that she has no chin, right? She can't change that. And Tay can't change the fact that he looks really freaking creepy in every single photo that he takes. I don't know. I think it's his eyes. His eyes scare me. But what they can change is their responses to things, is their behaviors. And I feel as though over the last few months, we've seen Kay and Tay get really progressively more and more rude towards people who are critiquing them or speaking out against them. And while I can understand that it can be exhausting having haters, right? How you handle it is really important, especially if you're a public figure with a very, very large following. Now, there's a huge difference too between hate and accountability. And this woman that I'm going to show you soon is definitely a hater through and through. She's not here for accountability. She's not here for actual change. She's here to show them how angry she is at them and call them pieces of shit, and that's it, and move on with her day. Or not move on with her day because she did it multiple times. To a certain extent, yes, I think that people deserve to be called out. But to publicly shame someone because they call you a piece of shit parent, well, if that triggers you, maybe you do need to reevaluate how you're parenting or what you're presenting online, how you're portraying yourself online. Because if people are getting these assumptions of you and it's triggering to you, you can't just block and move on with your day, you have to publicly shame them, well, that might be time to reevaluate what you're doing. And I'm really uncomfortable. And I understand matching the energy. I am all for matching the energy. If you come at me with absolutely ridiculous hate comments, I'm going to come at you with absolutely ridiculous responses, right? You deserve the energy that you're going to give through and through. And I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I am all for constructive criticism. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I really didn't like this, or hey, I really didn't like that, I take that into consideration and I do better going forward. It's the best we can do as humans living the human experience. You do the best you can until you know better, and then you're expected to do better, right? But when you have someone come in and twist your words, it happened to me recently. I had this girl come in and she completely took things and twisted that. Oh God, it was so gross. And then tried to say that I was putting words in her mouth. It was absolutely ridiculous and started accusing me of shit that just wasn't true. And it's like, huh? And then tried to call me out for not taking accountability for criticism and stuff like that. It's like, no, I'm one of the people who actually takes accountability because I'm not here trying to portray that I'm perfect or better than anyone. It's literally not that deep. We're just talking about stuff on the internet. I'm not saying that I have a moral high ground above everyone else or that I'm holier than thou or anything like that. I've never said or tried to allude to the fact that I'm perfect, because I'm not. And in fact, those of you who have followed my content since the beginning know that I have opened up about my struggles and everything. So it's just, there's a huge difference between hate and constructive criticism, and that's all I'm trying to say. Now, I guess this woman, Mary, has been messaging Kay and Tay for some time now, and what they decided to do was call her out in their stories. We have seen this a couple times. Kylie used to do this all the time. We've seen Drew do this from the Bashams. And I don't think it's okay. I don't think that someone with a public platform should be calling people out publicly like this if and unless there are death threats involved. Because if you are threatening violence against someone, absolutely you should be shamed on public display. Nothing is that deep. And people who take things that seriously and go that far to threaten violence against someone for posting their life online, you need to be evaluated by a psychologist. If you are so confident that you are going to be sending death threats to influencers or content creators, like, go get yourself checked. Log off, go touch grass, because you need that in your life. Some grass. Even though where I am, the grass is hidden by 4 feet of freezing cold snow. Go hug a tree, I guess. That's what we can do in the winter. We can't touch grass in the winter, in Canada at least. Go hug a tree. It's really not that deep. And if you're making it that deep, you need help. What they did here was they posted the conversation between the two of them with her full name here, which if you're sending from your account these types of messages, like, you're risking a lot, right? So she said, Ellie is so delayed in talking. Help her. You are pathetic parents. A little aggressive there. You're pathetic parents, you know. Ellie is so delayed in talking. Maybe the person is a speech therapist just trying to help out. We can raise concerns, though, without attacking, and that's not what this person did. Another message. Okay, lay around and do nothing, you sack of shit. Get off your ass and be a parent, low life bitch. That escalated really quickly, Mary. Jesus. Gross couple. Y'all are so gross. Get a life. That is my favorite hater comment, by the way. People who come and attack me and they're like, you're so pathetic. Get a life. And it's like, you're defending child exploiters and I'm the pathetic one. You go get a life. I have a life, a chaotic life, which I'll post a life update separately from everything so that people who don't want to hear don't have to sit through my bullshit. But you guys who feel the need to come to a commentary channel and tell them to get a life, it's ironic. You are fat. You are gross. Geez, you are so stupid. So Mary, I think you need to take several seats, my love, because it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And while she isn't, fully wrong in what she's saying, they are definitely lazy parents. They're definitely pretty neglectful parents. I'm not scared to say that because they have fully admitted to filming all day, every single day, which means that their entire day is performative. There's no genuine connection with their children. There's no genuine time with their children, which is a really sad life for these kids to be living. Their home is a film set. They have no break. They have no reprise. They have no privacy. And that's really freaking sad. But calling them like a lazy sack of shit, calling them fat, gross, you're doing too much. And to be so confident to send these direct messages, like, come on. Why? I don't get it. And again, not defending Kay and Tay here, but we need to realize that this is a level of parasocial that's kind of scary. This woman is obsessed with these two and in a toxic way. That's weird and scary. I have a visitor coming. Hi, baby. I did hear you coming. How are you? Oh, it's right there. I didn't unplug it, though. Try not to unplug my stuff. Try your best. Whoa. Oh, it's 9:43. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Yeah.
I love you. Oh, I thought you kept walking around. Okay. I love you.
I don't even know where I'm going yet, so.
But I still love you. I don't remember what I was saying. I think we were talking about parasocial relationships. So, yeah, what people fail to realize is that what Mary is doing here is still a parasocial relationship. She is assuming things about these people and assuming that she knows more than she probably does. And given the fact that they do post so much, there's no doubt that they're going to have some sort of parasocial relationship. And I think to a certain extent, having that type of parasocial connection with a content creator is important because it shows genuineness on the side of the content creator if you're able to kind of feel that bond with them. The problem is when it gets toxic on either end of the spectrum. And that's when it gets scary, when people get obsessed in a positive or negative way with these content creators, with these influencers. That's not okay, but it's okay to support people and care about people. We're all humans living the human experience, right? So to feel sad when your favorite content creator feels sad or when something happens to them, or to feel happy when something happy happens, I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. And realistically, content creators need to build that type of parasocial relationship, a positive one, because they need to connect with their audience in one way or another. But when it goes so far that you feel the need to personally attack people in their messages or anything like that, when it goes beyond constructive criticism and it's just pure hate, that's when things need to be reevaluated, if you know what I'm saying. But what Kay and Tay did was they posted all these messages, and me, I can kind of be there with that. I've posted silly hate messages. I think it's hilarious when little children come to my comment section and are like, "You're a jealous piece of shit." Leave them alone. I don't know, whatever the hell they say. There's a few on my community post, on my community page if you guys want to go see, because they're ridiculous, right? But Kay and Tay took it one step further. They linked this woman's Facebook profile picture, Facebook profile. "Mary, honey, why are you messaging Kay like this? Imagine what your friends and family would think if they knew what you were saying." Now, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with Tay, because it's like, you think about, let's say in my Churko family deep dive, I think about all those children who are there blindly defending these family vloggers who are borderline abusing their children. I'm not going to say that they're to their children because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. From what we've seen, it could definitely teeter on the abuse spectrum. Let's be realistic. But it's funny to have people come to my comment section and just attack me. But to go so far as to link her Facebook page, that is like 15 steps too far. That is wildly inappropriate. Kay and Tay have millions of followers. Let's go take a quick peek to see how many followers they're at now on TikTok. I don't know what this was on. I think it was on TikTok. They have 11.8 million followers on TikTok. Oh, maybe it wasn't on TikTok. So this might have been on Instagram then. Let's see. I know they have a lot on Insta as well. Yeah, so it was on Instagram. I can't even see anything. Maybe I can't see anything because I'm not logged in on Facebook, but what do you mean your Facebook says it all? Okay, but on Instagram, they have 6.5 million followers nonetheless. And now they've linked her Facebook. And although they're not directly telling their fans to go and attack these people, they fully know that that is what's going to happen by linking her Facebook. They absolutely know that. And that's weaponizing your audience against someone. And I don't think that is ever okay to do. It isn't ever okay to do. That is brigading, and it's against terms and services on most social media platforms. I honestly can't believe that he went so far as to link her profile. And Kay and Tay minions are some of the most unhinged teenagers on the fucking planet. They really are. If you so much as say anything, not even like what Mary was saying, she's unhinged too in her own way. If you so much as say anything that is not in full 150% support of Kay and Tay, you will get attacked in the comment section. Like instantly attacked. I saw someone say that they posted on the People magazine article and got relentlessly attacked. Their minions are everywhere and they are ruthless. So to post someone's Facebook and be like, your Facebook says it all about you, alongside these hateful messages that this person was sending you, what do you think's gonna happen? And I think that because he didn't directly tell them to go in whatever on her Facebook, that he might be covered, but regardless, that is pushing a boundary. And it shows how unhinged Kay and Tay really are and how it's getting to them. This person that posted this, desperation forces them to an all new low. I don't know who this lady is, but I do know they get all kinds of hate, even more so lately as people are over the fake crying, attention seeking scam that this couple is. Retaliation now comes in the form of public humiliation, that now if you dare cross them, they will publicly put you to shame. While I don't agree with all the messages from this woman, I'd like to point out that Tay is no better than her calling people small-brained and dumb and mocking hurricane victims. But alas, they are always the victim, right? Goodness gracious, they have way too much time on their hands if they're going around and doxing strangers that are mean to them, right? Like he literally had to cut and paste and edit this ridiculous call out to muster some sympathy for them. They'd rather be dumping time and energy into this than spending time parenting with their poor kids. Mary isn't very nice either, but she's not 100% wrong about the fact that they are lazy parents. If she was DMing them, I'm sure their responses to her were less than proper. After all, we've all seen his unhinged, small brain responses. Narcissists love arguments. The fact that they didn't post his comments to Mary just proves he isn't innocent. This is stitched for his benefit. I feel like they say some really nasty stuff back, but we won't see those messages. I mean, maybe. They might have just resulted in like public shaming versus responding back. Wow, and linking her Facebook, that's what I said. Linking the Facebook was too far. Wow, and linking her Facebook so others will bully her. She clearly has mental issues. This could drive someone like that to do the unthinkable. I hope they get sued. I was about to post this. I'm so glad someone else has. Well, Mary isn't being nice, but saying facts. This is a new low. They have 6.5 million followers, and to share her information like that is disgusting. They are wanting her to get hate or abuse, which is what they are calling her out for. They are bullies themselves for doing this. Exactly. You're no better. They posted this because they want people to shame her, because they want people to hate on her. It wasn't about holding her accountable or anything like that, because you could post the messages and be like, wow, this is some of the stuff we get, without doxing her, without putting her information there, linking her Facebook. The only reason that he linked her Facebook was to make it easier for her fans to go and attack her. Their fans. Stupid. There's one thing to share her name, but to share her photo and link her personal Facebook page is another. The fact that they have time for this shows how little they are actually doing for their children. I would not have time or energy in me to be bothered with this. Just block her and move on. Yeah, people are already on her Facebook blowing her comments up. I wonder if I can report that. Okay, I did. I reported it for bullying and harassment because that's what I think it is. So whatever. We'll see. I'm sure Instagram will do absolutely nothing because they have 6.5 million followers, and Instagram doesn't care as long as they're making money. Instagram is one of the worst of the worsts. Realistically, all Meta is some of the worst of the worsts when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I saw that and I thought it was a really good discussion on parasocial relationships and the positive and the negative side of it. I find that a lot of people, especially like in snark subs and on Reddit, think that they have this moral high ground because they're calling out the influencer who is not a good person, right? But it's kind of the two things can be true at once. they can be not good people, and also the hate can go too far. I find that when you have a group that's rallying around hating someone, it's really easy to slip down that slope because you're all there for the same common purpose. And I know I might sound a little bit like a hypocrite because people think that I'm sitting here hating on people. I don't hate anyone, to be honest. Like, I don't hate any of the people that we cover. But I don't think that what they're doing is okay. So I'm going to call it out. We're going to have a discussion and an open dialogue about how these behaviors can be harmful or not acceptable or whatever the case may be. Commentary channels allow people a safe space to have an open dialogue. Even when their minions come in and say stuff, I don't block and delete those comments. Some of them I do, like the haters, because I just don't have time for that. You're going to come in with no constructive criticism and personal attacks, you're gone. Bye. I don't have time for that bullshit. But if you're going to come in with some constructive criticism or a good discussion point, by all means, please do. I welcome that because that is what's important. And sometimes people can help me see the other side. There's value to getting those open discussions and having those discussions. I love seeing different perspectives. Sometimes I don't think of something, or in the moment when I'm filming and we're blind reacting to something, my initial gut feeling comes out, obviously, and I don't necessarily realize XYZ. And I try to bring the nuance, but sometimes I'm human. I forget, or I neglect to bring the nuance. No, I feel like I always bring the nuance, but sometimes I don't see a certain angle, and I love that we can have those kinds of conversations. They're important to me. But I did see a really great video from D'Angelo, which I will link down below, and it was discussing his title was, I think, commentary viewers are dumb or something like that. And it's because we've seen a really big rise in people, I guess, nitpicking. So choosing one thing that someone says wrong or one thing that can be twisted and taken out of context and running with it. And then you get people who come and don't even watch the video, but just go and agree with that one person who took that one thing out of context and twisted it and ran with it. For D'Angelo, he was neglected to say one thing about the Starbucks boycotts, and people started calling him a Zionist and in favor of genocide because he neglected to talk about the boycotts. And people didn't even give him the chance to kind of respond to that. They just took this and ran with it and started labeling him all these horrific things. And then what that does is it starts to make you a little bit paranoid because you get worried that everything you say is going to be taken out of context and twisted. And that's what happened to him for a little while. Sorry, I just got a weird text message from my neighbor. I'm not sure what that was about. That was weird. I don't know what's going on. She just sent another weird one. The first one was, hey, are you getting decluttering done? And then there was a bunch of jumbled messages after that with a couple words here and there. Oh, Jesus, I didn't mean to send that last text in the other one. That's too funny. I don't even remember what I was saying. I was talking about D'Angelo. But yeah, so it starts to make you a little bit paranoid because you're like, okay, well, everything I do, everything I say is going to be twisted. It's going to be taken out of context. And then you start second guessing yourself. And then your confidence starts to dwindle because you're like, well, people hate me. Maybe all the things these people are saying is actually true. When you know that's absolutely not the truth. You know that you don't support genocide. You just neglected to say this one thing in this one video and people ran with a false narrative. That's not okay. And it's really easy to dogpile on people. And it's funny to me because it's like, I'll circle back to my Churko video. The people coming to my comments being like, I love the Churkos, or I support them, you're wrong, you're jealous, you're this, you're that. Whatever they have to say, they don't even bother to watch the video, right? Which is fine. It's their own prerogative. They absolutely do not have to watch the video. But don't come in here saying I'm wrong if you have nothing to back up the fact that you think I'm wrong, right? Nobody actually who came in who was like, I love the Churkos, had a good counter argument for anything that I said. There was a couple who tried to justify it as like, oh, they're just playing. Oh, it's just pranks. Oh, it's just whatever. But it's not. It's not when it goes too far. It's not when there's anxiety that's caused or mental breakdowns. And normalizing that kind of treatment towards children is dangerous, especially since you have so many teenagers coming and being like, it's just a joke. It's just funny. They're the best. Oh, blah, blah, blah. They're the best parents. No, they're not. That is not good parenting to do that to your children and to put your children through that type of stuff. But that's my side tangent on the Churkos because they suck a lot. And I think that's my tangent on K and Tay. I saw that and I was like, I don't like that. That's not okay. What Mary said was not okay. Two things can be true. Again, Mary took things way too far and she needs to sit the fuck down and go touch grass. Definitely. Because it's not that deep, girl. It's not that deep. And to be direct messaging someone, that type of stuff, like, no, you need to figure out another way to get your frustrations out. Maybe, block them so you stop seeing their stuff. Maybe just don't interact with them. That could make an impact on things. But what Tay did was equally as unacceptable. Linking someone's personal Facebook like that, when you have 6.5 million followers, is not okay. It's just not. That's what I have for you guys for today's video. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.